Hello, everyone. This is Political Chit Chat, and I'm your host, Gonzalo Duran. Today's honored guest is Denise Smith. She's running for City Council District 11. Denise, thank you for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
For the audience that may not know who you are, could you give us a little bit about your background?
Oh, sure. My name is Denise Smith. I'm living in the Bronx currently and for 30 years. I'm originally born in Long Island, but I am almost a native Bronx person because I've been here 30 years.
I would say that's more than enough
time. To be validated. I worked in the Bronx in North Central Hospital for over 17 years. I do a lot of outreach, and I'm a founder of an international ministry with great leaders from around the world.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, you're running for City Council District 11. We know each other for a while, and we met doing charity work.
Yes.
So what brought you to start running in politics?
Because I have concerns about the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. So one of my friends said to me, instead of complaining, why don't you roll up your sleeves and do the work? Because I'm active in a lot of other things anyway. So they said, just go ahead and just get involved. And it makes sense because I want to be the change. It can no longer be people on the Democratic Party. I just saw someone and it hurt me that this person was laughing in the face of homeless people. I don't want to call names, but it's not necessary. And we have to stop wanting to vote for a person because of their race and this and that. Me personally, my grandfather's Jewish and Irish, and on my mother's side, on the other side, they're indigenous and Cherokee Indian. So what are you going to do with me, right? So, and then one is from Brazil. So I'm a melting pot within myself. So I'm for the people, not for Spanish people, not for black people, brown people. I'm for everybody. I'm for the community. So these need to take change.
So you mentioned the Democrat and the Republicans, but you didn't join them.
No.
You joined
the Conservative Party.
And what was appealing to you with that?
That they're faith-based, which I am a faith-based person, but that makes a difference as well. But I understand everybody in the community doesn't have the same faith. But we as a community of people have the same concerns within the community.
That's a good way to look at it.
There you go.
So now, this situation that happened with a person laughing at the homeless,
right.
This happened in the Bronx?
Yes, it did.
Now, a situation like this, when you see it, I'm assuming it gets you fired up.
Yeah.
And, I don't know the contents of what was going on, but, I don't think that's a normal thing. But, since it happened, do you see yourself fighting even harder because of that? Or
absolutely, because it's time for people to stop pocketing the money. This person has been in politics in that office for over 30-something years, 35 years, 40 years, and a lot of people probably already caught on who I'm talking about. But it's disrespectful, and we need to take the money and allocate it and use it for medical, for elderly, for children's system, the homeless, the mentally ill. We need to reestablish looking at that. I've never seen so many mentally ill people walking the streets.
So now this is you're going from ministry to nonprofit work, running into politics. This is your first year.
Yes.
What are some concerns or that you've had, starting this endeavor?
Concerns about our children, because our children are our future. Once again, it sounds like a cliche, but it's not. It is the truth. We don't seem to have a concern as the people about our children. We need to restructure and revamp how we're looking at the school system. Not just hear what the parents are saying, but implement. You can hear it all day, but let's bring it in and implement what they're saying. What happened to the instruments and children learning about music? What happened to athletics and sports? So these are things, you'll find them in communities where they're suburbs and upstate, of course, because they pay taxes for it. But we pay taxes for it here as well. We get grants for it here as well. They need to stop skimming off the top. Let's revamp it and help the community the way it's supposed to be helped.
Well, so that seems like one of your platforms of education,
yeah,
right?
Yes.
And what would be another platform that you?
The other one, a big issue is safety, safety within the community. We need to look at that, but not opening another platform financially. We have people in the community that would be willing to volunteer and go out and, help and secure the neighborhood.
So are you more pro police or community safety programs?
Community safety programs.
What about something like I don't know what the title is, but like let's say something like the Guardian Angels, is something like
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
Like the community service-based organizations.
Yes.
So that you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
Have you been a part of them, or you work with any groups?
I know, and I followed the Guardian Angels for, oh my goodness, over 20 years.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that.
Absolutely. And he has my vote also. He's running for mayor.
You mean Curtis Silver, right?
Yes. I
Okay.
don't know if I could say it or not.
That shouldn't be a problem. Anything else you want to hit on when it comes to safety?
No, that's basically it with safety. I would like to take a look at the nursing homes. Nursing homes, they're allocated a lot of grants. I kind of did studies, and unfortunately, people are skimming money off the top again. It's going into the hands of the Democrats. We need to send in people that that are officials or have this kind of what do you call it? Their license to go in and check the electric and check the housing, the structure. We need to go revamp that and go take a look at those things as well and reallocate the money and make sure it's going where it's supposed to be. It's time for a new stance, bottom line.
And what would be another platform that you're
The affordable housing. Now, housing is a big deal, and I'm sure there's so much that I could do with that, but I do have a voice concerning housing concerning our elderly. That needs to be looked at. People are living in apartments in the Bronx in deplorable circumstances and deplorable situations. And that shouldn't be. That these people have worked their whole lives, they're retired, but they don't have funds to move. Or they've lived there so long, and if they want to stay there, they should be able to stay there. But they shouldn't live in deplorable conditions. So we need to revamp those things as well and take a look at it.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to hit on a little bit of everything you talked about today.
Sure.
When it comes to the nursing home, one of the biggest issues that we had recently in the past was Governor Cuomo and what he did.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's what he did. I don't know exactly what it is, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But I believe that we need to go in with top official people that are in that field that would, like inspections, things like that, and go in, have people look at their accounts, what's going on with their bookkeeping, do audits. That audits need to be done and see where the money is being allocated. Why don't these people have sheets? Why don't they have the basic needs? Why don't they have pajamas? Why don't they have towels? People are skimming the money off the top, so they don't have the basics. Why is their little nursing where they keep their medication, why does it look like that? So you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I've gone to a few nursing homes during campaign season,
right?
To speak to the people. They make it very hard for you to go in there and speak anything with the politics, even though that's their right to be able to speak there,
right?
And then you look at it and you're like, should it look like this in here? It seems kind of
shabby.
Yeah,
and it shouldn't look like that. And why isn't it being updated? Because people are skimming money off the top. We're not going to play this game.
Yeah.
And the money needs to be reallocated so that they can have the benefits and the quality of life that they deserve.
Okay, and those are things that a lot of people are interested in, and I'm sure your constituents have talked about that a lot.
Yes.
Is there any other issues that your constituents that you've talked to during your campaign season?
Garbage is an issue. Why in the Bronx, it's so hard to have a garbage pail on every corner. Like, it's a simple thing. And if we would put a garbage pail on every corner, it would help with a lot of the garbage that's in the streets. They talk about how dirty certain parts of the Bronx is because all of the Bronx is not dirty. right? But it would be a great help to have a little thing like that makes a major difference.
Yeah,
In the
I do a lot
community.
of cleanups in the city.
Yeah.
And I've seen certain parts that are more dirty than others.
Right.
And if you walk through like 149th and Third Avenue,
It's horrible.
it's horrible.
It's
It's horrible. And we can clean up for there like for 2 hours straight, and then we come back in an hour, and all over again.
And there's no garbage cans, I know, on 149th and 3rd Avenue on every corner, and I've been questioning that for years. So can somebody approve this, let's get it done, and that'll make a difference. It's the small things that make major differences.
All right. Well, do you have any current events or any other topics you want to talk about?
Quickly, briefly, we have our upcoming outreach event at Poe Park. That is Saturday, October the 4th. It is our 9th annual event. I'm excited to say that and share that with you. All are welcome. That's on the Grand Concourse and Fordham Road. Our Honorable Gonzalo Duran, he participated with us last year. He's a part of Precious Seasons 3 and the outreach. He was a great help, and people come out, and it's about 10 or 12 of us, and we volunteer. We give away clothes and shoes. If anyone would like to donate new shoes or new clothes, I would be happy, or if you have slightly used clothes, I would be glad to take them off your hands.
Now, for the nonprofit stuff, how would the people reach out to you?
Can I give my number?
Yeah, please.
917-373-6739. That number again is 917-373-6739, or my email. I have 2 email addresses for you. You can email me at Denise for City.
Well, let's do the nonprofit one first.
Precious Seasons 3 at yahoo.com. That's Precious Season and the number 3 at yahoo.com.
Now for your city council.
Yes, the Denise for City Council at gmail.com. Thank you so much.
And the number, is it the same as before?
Yes, that's the number.
Well, is there any topics of that world events that you want to talk about? Because I have one if you're interested.
Please.
So a lot of people may not know, but this is the anniversary of the Voting Act of 1965. If those that may not know, before, let's say our history in the United States, in 1776 when we became independent from British,
Right.
Shortly after, the only ones that could vote were white landowners.
Okay.
And then in the 1900s, it changed over. And, up until 1965, not everybody could vote.
Right.
So the Voting Act gave, stopped, segregation and all the things that stop individuals from being able to vote, such as voter identification, like birth certificates or and other stuff. Like I think back then, if you didn't have a birth certificate, you weren't able to vote.
Right.
Now, if you were a slave, then you wouldn't have a birth certificate.
Right. And
So-
women were excluded
and
as
women were
well.
excluded as well.
Right.
I want to say in 1910, 1915, that's when
Right.
the 1920-ish, when the women were allowed to vote. But once again, it was white women.
Right.
And then after that, in the South locations, they were more discriminated when everybody was allowed to vote.
Right.
So things had to be amended and changed. And now we're coming at the 60-year mark. I myself, I remember briefly when Martin Luther King and when President Lyndon B. Johnson wrote to pass the 1965 Act, and he gave his pen to Dr. Martin Luther King.
Okay.
So for me, that's one of those things that I remember.
Right.
Now, if you ask me everything else, I'm like, you know what, let me do some research because I don't remember everything. But I remember that in that time period when I was in school, the pictures, the videos of how hard it was they were fighting to be able to vote.
Yes.
And now we're in a situation where
we can vote.
we can
and
vote, but we don't vote. The numbers are so low.
Right.
Now, you've seen things and you've gone through things to say, you know what, now I want to step up and be the person you vote for.
Right.
And this is your first campaign.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to tell, like maybe somebody who's who might be inspired by your story and say, give them some advice on what to look out for or what to be prepared for?
You just need to get with a team, decide which party that you're going to run with first of all, because it's not my place to tell them what party. So decide which party you want. You have the Independent, you have the Republic, you have the Democrat, and you have the Conservative. I've decided on the Conservative Party. That works for me. And you want people around you, they're not going to do the work for you, because one thing Duran can say, I've been rolling up my sleeves and actually doing the work. I come out, I'm a part. You have people running and they're just putting up flyers everywhere, but they're not doing anything actively. So you want to know your opponent. You want to get with a team that's going to work with you, that's going to help you, let you know what needs to be done. And you have to balance it out and just go ahead and run for it. Because it can't be that a person is sitting in a seat because it's passed down from their father or their mother. This is supposed to be for everybody in the United States to be able to be a part. So we got to break those walls down and give it back to the people.
Yeah, me personally,
you agree with that?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And for me, if this show brings up anything at all, I would hope it would help people to be more involved politically, whether it's joining a party, whether it's voting, whether it's canvassing, helping out somebody else.
Right.
That's one thing that I would love, and I hope that this show brings about.
Yes.
Now, you wear many hats, right? What is something that you think would push people to be more active, in the voting process or political system at all?
You doing programs like this, I go out and I set up a table in the community, and I've been speaking to people as well. So going out and putting up a table is a great way to communicate with people, stopping by the hospital, stopping by ministries, stopping by churches, which I've done as well. I speak to people that I know within churches for the past month, I must say. So we have to reach the people. So I hope that a lot of people that know me, they said that I've been encouraging to them. Just me running has been encouraging to them. So I think that's great, because if I can do it, anybody can do it, but it has to be in your heart, and you want to do it for the right reasons, not for selfish reasons. We've had too many selfish people running, wanting to gain for themselves, and then when they get in a seat, they're not trying to help the people. That has to stop. So you want to get with people, and my track record speaks for itself, right? So, that is 60 leaders on a team, or some men and women from around the world. They would even vouch for me. So why not run? So I'm already working with them and an assistant to those generals there. Why not run and serve my community as well?
Now, with that being said, I mean, you primarily are like in the South Bronx or
I'm on Norwood.
Mashulu
Parkway, the Norwood section.
How do you see the reception of you being a conservative in those neighborhoods, going out and
a lot of people show me a lot of love. A lot of people surprised me and said they're going to vote for me. A lot of people are switching over from Republic and conservating and registering to be a conservative.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad
so that's impressive to me.
That's impressive, especially in the Bronx. That's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
Especially with the Democratic stronghold.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you think would benefit or help you get more maybe visibility with the people?
Right now I'm having a little commercial done. Me being on the program helps. I put up a page on Facebook for Denise for City Council. I put up a page on Instagram, Denise for City Council.
Now you mentioned...
so I'm trying to be visible.
Of course. You mentioned the event in October on the 4th, which happens to be my birthday, just an FYI.
Wow.
Yeah. And you mentioned doing the pop-up and canvassing. Is there anything else that you have planned, maybe in the political realm or something you've done recently?
I'm planning to set up with Tariq Goodman to do a cleaning. I would like to do it in the Fordham Road area. We're scheduling that for next month as well. And any other platforms that would have me to speak, I've been invited to a couple of speaking engagements. So those, I don't have the names and structure because I got to call them back, and I'll let you know as I go along.
Well, one thing I know that happens in the Bronx, and I won't say this everywhere, but I know specifically in the Bronx, it's not easy to get platforms to speak at engagements
Yeah.
because, normally the Democrats have their primaries and then after that it dies out. So, I mean, obviously those are things that you have to focus on. And your district in the District 11, have you reached out to maybe any of the associations or any of the like local, let me say like, it wouldn't be just the nonprofits. It'd be like the community boards or associations, so they can try to get a debate forum. Have you thought about that?
I need to, that's something I need to take a look at, but I've been so busy and just trying to be out within the community. You can only do but so much, but that's the plan hopefully for the rest of the month.
And I hope that and that's a
Yeah.
very
Vital.
vital thing
Yes.
to do. But also in your district, it's a pretty big endeavor to be doing that. So, and the Democratic Party, once again, not to throw shade at them, but they don't really do debates. So that's how do we push them to get out there and debate us? I don't know. That's something I haven't cracked.
That's a good thing. And I'm hearing a lot of people, the Bronx is really tired of the Democratic Party.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, do you
because
want to elaborate on that?
when I'm going, I go out, I put up a table, I'll have my name, I have to get some more flyers done. And I'll just speak about like what we're talking about here. Most of the people in the community, I don't know why they know me because I'm everywhere, right? So I did a lot of things in the Bronx working at North Central Hospital. I set up flea markets for them along Gun Hill Road and different vendors. I had 200 vendors under me at one time when I was at North Central Hospital. I set up gala events, so I dealt with the police, I've dealt with the fire department, and so on and so forth. So,
And that's something that's not easily done by starting out candidates that are starting out.
Right.
So you have a leg up on that part right
Yes,
there.
yes.
And have that foundation is really important. Once again, I'm not saying that you can't start politics without it, but it does help a lot.
it does.
You know.
It makes a difference.
Like I know you were speaking at an event maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago where you were in a room full of Republicans and conservatives speaking on and sharing your platforms.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
That was a great experience, and it's nice to know that we can come together and respect one another. And may the best man win sort of thing. And even though we're on a part of different parties, we can also agree that we come together on certain things that we do want to see changes in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
But they say it too much and you're not doing it, and people are really just tired of the Democrats. I mean, really, that's what I've been hearing a lot of lately. A lot of people are going independent, or they're going conservative, or they're going Republican, because they're tired of the empty promises.
And those are things that I believed in this last election. They saw that happen
Yes.
with in the Bronx and Queens. There was a large Hispanic and Black community that came out to vote for President Trump
Right.
and Republicans in general. And if the Democratic Party doesn't see that, then I don't know what the turnout is going to be for this election.
Right.
But I think if they see it, if a trend keeps on happening, then they got to open their eyes.
That's true. And that their eyes are opening. So there are people, and I'm impressed, I must say, that a lot of people that will walk up to me, they're very knowledgeable about the political events that are taking place. Don't think that people are sleeping. A lot of people are awake, and a lot of people are paying attention to the political arenas and what's going on, because they shared stuff with me that I wasn't aware of. So it's good. But I'm learning as we go,
Now, before we finish off, is there any last minute things that you want to tell the people or get out there that we haven't touched on?
Vote for Denise Smith. Vote for Denise Smith, District 11. My slogan is, I am the change. I want to be the change, so let's be the change. Thank you for your time.
Now, you're not, you don't have a primary. I believe since you have the conservative line, you're going straight to the November elections.
Yes.
So you have quite a bit of time to prep and get the name and your word out there.
Okay.
Besides trying to get the community involvement, speaking engagements, and obviously trying to get out as much visibility as you can.
Yes.
Is there anything that you maybe want to work on that you haven't shared with us, or maybe some new ideas? Because I think every time somebody comes in, they have their own skill sets that they can bring to the table.
I would like to go to more churches and maybe speak, not necessarily from their pulpit, or just or just to have maybe a community date where I can come in and just speak and tell them more about how I feel about the school system, more how I feel about the safety, how I feel about the elderly situation and housing, and write notes and take them to different meetings within my community and start using my voice. Because whether I win or not, they can't get rid of me, because I'm going to have a voice and I'm going to continue to go to meetings.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, just in case for the audience, one more time, would you mind giving them your information on your campaign information?
Okay, my name is Denise Smith. I'm running for District 11. I am a conservative running for City Council. My email, give it to them again. My email, I should know it by heart, but I don't. Shame on me, right? It's Denise4 City Council at gmail.com. That's Denise4 City Council at gmail.com. My phone number is 917-373-6739. Once again, 917-373-6739.
And if you want to do any charity work or nonprofit stuff, once again, Denise is having a event at Pole Park on October 4th. Feel free to reach out to her, or you can contact us, and we'll be happy to put you in contact with her. With that being said, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you for
having
sharing
me.
us. We hope we're hoping for you. And if there's anything else and later on that you want to talk about, you're welcome back anytime. For those that are interested in coming on to the show, we would love to have you. Feel free to reach out at Gonzalo Duran NYC at gmail.com. Once again, it's Gonzalo Duran NYC at gmail.com. Until then, and as always, God bless you and God bless America.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Political Chit Chat, and I'm your host, Gonzalo Duran. I look forward to talking to you about global and local politics. If you'd like to be on the show, feel free to email me at gonzaloduranyc at gmail.com. To get to know me better, feel free to check out my social media at Gonzalo Duran NYC. Until then, and as always, God bless America.